The weekend saw Zimbabwean casting their votes during the parliamentary and local government by-elections. Analysts believe these elections may be a test for the country's governing party, ZANU-PF, which is being challenged by the Citizens Coalition for Change ahead of the general polls. But let's give you a sense of how things unfolded over the weekend and speak to Zimbabwean journalist Privilege Musvanhiri, who joins us via our video link now. Privilege, it's great to talk to you. Thanks so much for coming on to the AM report. The big question this morning is, how many Zimbabweans were actually able to cast their votes. We're seeing reports of a number of voters being turned away. In fact, the main opposition, the CCC, led by Nelson Chamisa, saying that many of their members were actually turned away deliberately.
Yes, good morning, Michelle. The Zimbabwe Electoral Commission is yet to release the final figures of the election that took place on Saturday. But on face value, looking at the preliminary results that have been released so far, voter turnout was quite low. There was some kind of voter apathy. Our expectation was that people were going to go out and vote in their numbers, judging from the numbers that were attending the rallies that were held before the election on Saturday. Results that have, the provisional results that have come out so far, of the 28 seats that were out for grabs, 19 have gone to the Citizens Coalition for Change, and ZANU-PF has taken 9 of them, of which 2 have been taken from the opposition. In 2018, the ZANU-PF, the ruling party, won about 145 seats, which was more than the two-thirds majority in parliament, and the opposition won 60 seats. So now the Citizens Coalition for Change, which is a fairly new party, of course, with a leader that has been in the opposition in the past years, breaking away from the movement for democratic change. You find that also in the local government, they say out of the 122 seats that were out for grabs, the opposition took about 72. So that's how things are looking at the moment. The Zimbabwe Electoral Commission will be expected, I think, today to release the final tallies and the final results of the weekend election.
I suppose, many people will be asking whether it was low voter turnout indeed because of voter apathy, Privilege, or because people were prevented from voting in certain areas.
Yes, of course, you see there are some people that were turned away, but I'm not so sure of the numbers, how big the number is to make a significant, impact in the results that the opposition was expecting. You find that in different polling stations, you would have had about probably 1,000 people registered at the polling station, but you would find maybe 300 people turning out at that polling station. And yes, of course, there's been some concerns about people that were being assisted to vote in other areas.
Privilege, people saying, that this is sort of a precursor to the presidential elections next year. If that is true, what's the sense of how the presidential elections will go ahead?
Yes, analysts have taken this election as a test for what is to come in 2023. I think if we are to look at what transpired over the weekend, on face value, parties, even the ruling party or even the opposition, they really have to work hard in terms of steering their supporters to come out in numbers to vote. Because looking at the percentages of the people that came out to vote over the weekend, the numbers are quite low. So therefore, there is need for people to be encouraged to go out and vote. The other thing is that the contest is between ZANU-PF and the Citizens Coalition for Change. The Citizens Coalition for Change only launched in January, and it is 3 months old. They don't even have a national leadership that has been elected. They are yet to go to a Congress. So we have to see how things are going to pan out in the coming months, running up to the elections in 2023.
And many analysts are writing about it this morning. The CCC cruising to victory, say some reports, in 19 parliamentary constituencies out of the 28 contested. ZANU-PF grabbing the remainder, including 2 that were previously controlled by the opposition. I mean, given the incredible performance of the Citizens Coalition for Change, in the face of reports of widespread violence and intimidation, ZANU-PF surely is not feeling so confident ahead of the presidential polls.
It's interesting that, if you look at what is coming out from ZANU-PF, their comments about this election, they're actually beating their chest and say that they have done well. They've made inroads in areas where the opposition was the strongest. But if you look at, if we are to judge the coalition, Citizen Coalition for Change by what is just transpired, this is 3 months after they launched their political formation. So surely, in a open and also where they are contesting for the whole parliament and also the presidential election, they should do better and give ZANU-PF a run for their money. So I think the next coming months will be interesting in how the party, the Citizen Coalition, Coalition for Change, is going to shape up and even build its structures to contest as a strong party when it comes to the general elections next year.
Let me thank you for your time. Zimbabwean journalist Privilege Musvanhiri joining us there live from Harare.